Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ring Ready Live, the home of the owner handler, brought to you by Showsite Magazine. I'm Dan Sayers, here as always with Lee Whittier, the dog show mentor. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Dan.
Good to see you again this week. And, Lee, we're here today for episode 21 to talk to owner handlers about how they can build their own dog show playbook. And I want to ask everyone if they have ever wished for a study guide that could help them prepare for show ring success. Well, becoming successful requires the development of a set of strategies, and this is something we call a playbook. So, whatever your goals, having a carefully considered plan is the surest way to realize your dreams. So, Lee, we're going to help everyone to understand first what a playbook is, some of the things that ought to be part of a playbook. And then, Lee, I know that you've got a great story that you're going to share with everyone that is going to sort of emphasize how a playbook can be utilized for greater success. So, before we get to our topic today, I want to remind everyone that this is your show, 30 minutes of your week to sit down with Lee and I to talk about all things that are of interest to you as an owner handler. So let us know where you're from. Let us know your breeds. Let us know if you've got a playbook or what you think ought to be in your playbook. And also let us know where you're going to be. We'd like to know where we can see you at a dog show near you. So Lee, Megan, and I are going to be traveling at the end of the summer and throughout the fall. We'd love to say hello. And again, a reminder, if you see Lee, let's wait until she's through with her judging assignment. And then, Lee, I know you'll be happy to say hello to Dog Show mentors and to Ring Ready Live viewers. So without further ado, Lee, you're the Dog Show mentor. If we've got any new viewers, remind everyone about Dog Show Mentor and how they can get in touch with you directly.
Well, always by email, lee@dogshowmentor.com. And you're welcome to message me as well on Facebook. So today we're going to talk about playbooks, and we're going to talk about leveling up, which is what a playbook is about. It's about how to level up your game. And you don't start out winning the group at the garden. You start out winning a blue ribbon. So I want to talk about how one Dog Show Mentor member leveled up her game, and it was all through her mindset. But before I tell you about that, I'm going to tell you that she was very disheartened not too long ago that she was only going to be able to finish her dog by getting crossover points and crossover majors. There were no class dogs for 10-hour drives. And so she had bemoaned this. She had expressed this to the group. And through some interaction, she got over it. She's like, okay, well, this is the way it is. What else can I do? And she decided that she was going to show her dog as a special, even though he wasn't even finished. She was going to get out there and let him strut his stuff. And just by changing that one attitude and by really presenting her dog to his best and showing off his virtues and being competitive, she finished him by going breed over specials and ended up with an owner handled group 2.
Wow.
And so she accepted what she couldn't change and stopped looking at him as the class dog. And she's on to the next level now. Now she's on to breeds and group placements. So that's what we call leveling up. And thank you for that story. She's Superwoman, by the way. I call her Superwoman.
There's a lot of superwomen in dogs, and thanks for sharing the story about one superwoman, Lee. That really is inspiring to hear because I think all of us have sort of been stuck, if you will, in a mindset that was defeatist. I know that I just recently made a breakthrough because I finally understood that I still had a mindset of dare I say, a loser. I couldn't get past all of the, oh, it's never going to be a major. It's never going to be closer than 10 hours. It's never going to happen. But I have a personal mentor who actually I see is on our show today as a viewer. I want to say hello to Betty. Betty's a wonderful person. She's mentored me, and she sort of helped to readjust my mindset, Lee, to maybe in a way that your dog show mentor student did, finally just accepting that there's another way. There's a better way. And I think before you can ever even think about a playbook, creating a playbook and getting those details down for specific shows or specific conditions, you really need to have your mind in the right place. And I think that's true of all athletes, all competitors, and it's no different for owner handlers and exhibitors. Would you agree that mindset really is, you've either got the right mindset, a winner's mindset for leveling up, or you're just counting on luck
Well,
otherwise.
yeah, and absolutely, your mindset can be one of your biggest hindrances, but when it's switched up, it can be your greatest strength. And so, if you let it be hindrance, then that's the way it's going to be. And there are some things that you just can't change. So change the things that you can change.
Right. That's a big one. You can't change who the judge is other than choosing the judge to show or not to show. You can't choose who is entering their dogs. So if you're the only class dog and you're getting the carryover points, you can't change that, can you? Don't begrudge the fact that there are no other class dogs.
That's right.
Change your mindset. And your student did that. She realized, I don't have a class dog. I have a special dog. He's mine. And I'm now leveling up. So my goal is not just going winner's dog or best of winners, right? It's the breed and those group placements. I love that. We should
Yeah.
all be able to take what we view as a negative and turn it around so completely. And sometimes it just takes that one win where you realize what was different today. Why did my class dog go breed over specials? Well, you know what? I walked into this showground, into this building, into this ring with a different mindset. I just didn't, I wasn't feeling defeated. I was feeling that the sky's the limit. And, with that mindset, the sky certainly can be the limit. Lee, let's just say hello to some folks who are reaching out. Maureen, Melissa, hello. Jody with French Bulldogs in Colorado, hello. Nikki in Fort Lauderdale with Cairns. Nice to have you here. And Linda has Powder Puff Cresteds. She lives in, if I have this right, Linda, Ohio, Tennessee. If I have that right, that's a new town in
And
Tennessee for me.
yeah, and
Um,
post what you have in your playbook, what helps you level up your game. And it might be something like, I have a new hairspray, or I have a new shampoo, or I've dremeled my dog's nails, or whatever. So it could be
yeah,
anything.
your playbook is totally your own. It's for you. It's for you and your dog. Your playbook for your class dog might be different than your playbook for your special. If you're showing more than one breed, you may have a different playbook for this breed because
Absolutely.
the way that that breed is presented by you is entirely different, or at least it should be. Before I forget, Melissa, I think she wrote, Lee, that we should all let our obstacles be our guide. They should lead the
Yeah.
way. So rather than view that as a problem, an obstacle, a negative, turn it around. Change your mindset. If you're struggling with something or this certain mindset that you have, pay attention to that. That's a problem that you need to turn around, and you can do it. Danny with Standard Poodles in Oregon. Hello. Sharon has Staffordshire Bull Terriers in Maryland. And Becky, you're in Northern California with Border Terriers. Nice to have all of you here. Carrie and Robert, Renee, welcome. Lee, let's talk a bit about what is a playbook. That's an expression that's used an awful lot in professional sports, not so much in the world of
Right.
conformation shows.
That's right.
But I'll just offer, if I may, that a playbook is an actual book. Okay, it can be a little notebook. It could be something on your iPad or on your laptop, but it is an actual document that contains specific strategies that you will utilize under specific conditions. So again, I mentioned a moment ago that without a playbook, you're just showing your dog and hoping for a luck to shine on you and your dog. That is one way of showing a dog. You can also,
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
need to practice, you need to train, you need to be prepared, but you also need a strategy, a series of strategies, i.e., the playbook, that's going to help you under very specific conditions. So your playbook, again, is going to be specific to your individual dog and how you show that dog. Maybe how you show that dog indoors versus outdoors. Maybe how you show that dog if you find yourself in the front of the first entry in your class and you're coming in catalog order. Listen, if you're first, in the middle, or last, you need a different strategy. You know,
Oh, I
it,
want to talk about this for a minute. I
yeah,
want to talk
please.
about this because particularly people who are showing in the group for maybe the first time or maybe the second time. And I see Allison says patience and confidence. That's excellent. Um, but say you have a large dog, and it may be one of the largest dogs in the group, but you've never been in the group before. Trust me, being first in line is not. It is a study in itself. And so if it's your first time in the group, I would strongly suggest you try to get somebody else to go ahead of you. So for example, say you have the standard poodle and the Dalmatian. Now, most of the time, I see the standard poodle up front, but sometimes the Dalmatian will go up front. Whoever it is, make sure you know what you're doing, you know how to lead, you know the exact speed, because there's not going to be, you are going to be the first thing that sets the bar for the group. So know what you're doing before you dive in there first thing.
And some dogs I found, Lee, they themselves like being up front. They seem to enjoy having the dogs behind them. There are other dogs that maybe they're more inexperienced, but they're a little uncomfortable. They're a little unsure about why is that dog behind me. So if you need to know your dog, your playbook needs to be adjusted during your dog's career, because maybe as a new champion, first or second time in the group, you may think, oh, this is who the dog is. And then you get in the group, as you just said, and realize, oh, my dog right now needs to follow. He's not ready to lead, and neither am I. So your playbook is going to sort of evolve a little bit over time. But where you are in the lineup, that's just one aspect of how you show your dog. Somebody here, Tiffany, mentions that for her dogs, different baits, preferences, different leads, moving them at different speeds. All of that is part of your playbook. Not only is the lead, type of lead important, but the length of the lead, the style of the lead. Where do you place the lead? I showed a Rhodesian Ridgeback years ago for a friend. I got more reserved on this beautiful dog. I could not get winners on him. But the last time that I showed him and went reserve with him, I realized what he needed from me, where he needed that lead to be, and exactly how much pressure to put and how to ease up on the pressure. Once I realized that, and he went back to his owner, I shared what I had learned with this dog with his owner. She showed him the next week. Guess what? winner's dog
Finished.
finished his championship. So, I was actually, it was mixed emotions for me, but I love that she did it. It meant an awful lot to
Yeah,
her. But boy, was that a lesson for me. If I had continued to show that dog, part of the playbook would be this is the lead that works for him. This is what he likes. This is the pressure.
right.
You know, boy, that, you don't just put a lead on your dog and show your dog. That lead is your gear shift. It's your barometer to how your dog is feeling, and he or she is going to respond to that. Your playbook needs to be real specific on leads. In your tack box, if you're showing more than one dog, you should have a couple different leads in there to
Yeah, and dozens of collars, really.
plenty of collars.
I like
Somebody
I like what Carrie says. I'm going to interrupt you, Dan. Carrie says, continuing education like this is in my playbook now. Thanks, Carrie.
I love that, Carrie. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's in my playbook as well. Lee and I, we've had some conversations and co-hosting this show. It's amazing how much I've learned and how much I've now put into my playbook through our conversations and through everything that our viewers have shared. Let's see, Karen, if I may read this, she took some grooming lessons from a professional handler, drove 3 hours round trip. She lost 30 pounds with 25 more to go. Congratulations, Karen. She's been conditioning her dog. The judge last week commented on her dog's wonderful muscle tone. She had wonderful compliments on her grooming, too. So the 3 hour drive paid off. She's saying that she and her dog have both been working very hard to step up their game. She has both of her majors over specialty supported entry weekends, 4 points to go. Congratulations, Karen. That's a great story. And, it's really important, isn't it, that in our playbook, we need to think like athletes. And part of that is our team needs to be ready to win. We need to be in shape. We need to be in condition. You as a judge, Lee, you're getting your hands on the dogs. You're feeling their condition. That's wonderful. But we handlers, depending on our breeds, we need to do a lot of running and certainly being on your feet all day, even as a judge. You need to be in good physical condition. So maybe part of our playbook, I don't know, is maybe eating right. Maybe it's little exercise, a few extra walks with our dog. If they're on a treadmill, maybe we ought to be on the treadmill as well. So that may be part of the playbook. Maybe just getting the adrenaline pumping might actually help clear that mind of all of that negative
Hmm.
thinking.
Absolutely.
When you run
Absolutely.
and you realize, hey, I can do that. Well, you can do anything. If you can run 5 miles, if you can run 5 minutes, well, anything is possible.
That's right. Um, at Dog Show Mentor, we talk a lot about condition. And if you've taken any of my master classes, you know that we talk about condition being how the dog looks, how he feels, and how he responds. And so that is a huge part of what we promote is the dog's condition and how many owner handlers start stepping up their game with that um, at Dog Show Mentor. So congratulations to Karen. And I think I'd like to hear from other people on what you have in your playbook.
Well, Lee, Ray writes that he had to adjust his mindset that an owner handler is a second competition to breed. Making that adjustment in my mindset is starting to pay off. I'd like to speak to that, Lee, for a moment, if I may.
Please
And I'd
do.
love to hear what you have to think. Owner handlers are as important to purebred dogs and the sport, our community, and all of our communities as anybody is. An owner handler needs to have the mindset that the owner handler can do anything. We often compare ourselves with those who who do this professionally. And there are many, many professionals that are wonderful in what they do and provide great role models for aspiring professionals, for owner handlers, and even for the casual exhibitor. But an owner handler has this unique 24/7 relationship with their dog. Many of the pros do as well, but the pros are handling multiple dogs. They are also handling their own lives, their families, their other businesses in many cases. But the owner handler is, a week or so ago, I heard somebody view owner handlers and owner handled competition as lesser. And then I went to a show and I watched the owner handled groups all weekend, and they were spectacular.
Yeah, the
I
dogs
saw
are spectacular.
spectacular dogs,
Absolutely.
beautifully handled. And I thought, and I looked in the catalog, and at least half of the overall entry was eligible for the competition.
So I want to. I'm jumping out of my skin here,
Go right
Dan,
ahead.
because this is
Jump
this is
away.
my topic, right?
Yes.
Owner handlers. AKC says 85% of dogs are shown by their owners, right? And owner handlers are phenomenal in how they prepare their dogs. I watch them, and the preparation and the timing and the excellence that they bring is phenomenal. And so you just have to look. You just have to open up your eyes when you get to a dog show and look to see. And I had somebody post on the Dog Show Mentor Owner Handlers Facebook page, and you could just join that by answering a question and then dive right in. But she said that she had her dog finish faster, quicker, easier, just after changing one small thing. And so all these owner handlers are bringing so much excellence to the sport. And I am so heartened. I just did some owner handler groups in California. I had some phenomenal dogs. And so we're going to go back to leveling up our game and being quality handled dogs, right? Not just professionals. This woman said she got tips. I told her, I said, ask a professional handler to help you when you need help with something specific. And she did. And she said 2 of them said yes and helped her. And she was able to, as I said, finish her dog a lot faster. So get out there and embrace it and have fun with it. Everyone who comes to my group says, what do you want? They want to have fun and they want to win more, right? So just having fun isn't necessarily, if you don't win, it's not that much fun. So put a little more effort into it so you can win more, so you can have more fun. Okay, I'll stop.
I love that. Having fun is fun, but winning is more fun. I'd like to relate what Elizabeth has shared, and I think that this is real importantly. She says that she's a new owner handler, and she recently received an owner handled group 2. A handler, I'm assuming a professional handler, outside the ring said that you need to work towards the real group. And Elizabeth says that that comment totally deflated her. And what I would offer to Elizabeth is allow yourself that moment to be deflated. Your playbook ought to include that if somebody makes a comment that deflates you, own it, but just for a moment. And then your playbook needs to have a response. So when somebody says you need to get ready for the real group, you can say, thank you. I just earned an owner handled group 2 and I'm ecstatic. This is something that I've worked towards. I only have to now win the group and then I'll be over in the real group. But in the meantime, I'm having a great time succeeding with my dog or something like that. But your playbook can also address just not even negative comments or comments that may be negative, but negative situations, negative feelings, negative fears. My article for next month's Ring Ready, I'm going to talk about nerves and feeling anxious because I'd like to offer that. Well, I'll tell you that in my playbook, I don't have the word nervous. I have the word excited. And in my playbook, I never have the word anxious or anxiety. I have the word anticipation. So I'm not anxious. I am filled with anticipation. Now, they kind of feel the same way within, but I'm going to tell you that just having a rule in your playbook that says, I will not describe myself or my dog as nervous, we are excited. I'll tell you, that changed my mindset. And I know that it can change yours. So when somebody says something that kind of deflates you a little bit, you need that play. You need to just say, oh, thank you so much. Move on. And it may be that that comment was well intended, because if that
Absolutely.
person was a professional, guess what? They're prohibited from competing in the owner handled groups. They can't do it. They have one group, and to them it is a very real group. But the owner handled group is very, very real to owner
And
handled.
I and the way I take that comment was a very positive way, Dan, in that that person was saying, "Hey, this is a competitive dog on
Yes.
any level."
Yes.
So I think you really have to take it in the spirit it was intended and say, "Okay, well, I feel deflated, but what if that was a huge compliment?" The what if,
Right.
and a dog show mentor, we're always saying, "What if?" Right? What if that was a compliment? What if it was meant to say, "Hey, this dog is a competitive dog," and that's a compliment. Trust me. So,
Yes. Elizabeth,
yeah,
accept the compliment. No longer will you feel deflated by a
okay.
compliment. And, a compliment always deserves a thank you. And then you need to get a great win photo and you need to share it with the
Yeah,
world. Let everyone
there you
see
go.
you and your dog. That group too is spectacular.
And I'm going to give a shameless plug here. I at Dog Show Mentor, we believe in celebrating all of our successes in some way or another. And so that could be as little as, setting off a sparkler, but it could be as big
Mm,
as putting an ad in Show State Bring Ready and saying, "Hey, I'm proud to be an owner handler and I'm here," right? So that's
yes.
another way to celebrate. I
Yeah.
feel that way, Dan.
Thank you, Lee. There's no better way to celebrate your wins than to let the world know. You know, you've done the work, you've written your playbook, you've competed and won, you've got the ribbon, you've got the dog. Celebrate it. And I will say, and I mentioned this many, many episodes ago, but personally, the ads that I've placed through the years, they become more than just an advertisement. They're a keepsake, they're a memento, they are a memory of every moment that I spent with that dog. And in most cases those dogs are no longer with us. They're thankfully their descendants are, and some of them are living with me now, but they're just wonderful to have, whether they're on your wall or in your scrapbook. Yeah, and that is really, well, it's a celebration, as you said, and it's really a history of your life in dogs and your legacy in your breed. So I encourage you to reach out to Megan, who is your client relationship manager if you're an owner handler, and Megan will be delighted to talk you through the process of celebrating your win in Ring Ready. Speaking of Megan, I just want to mention that she's going to be showing this month in Greensboro, North Carolina, and next month in Raleigh, Gray Summit, Missouri. She's going to be in wine country in Romulus, New York, and she'll be at Morrison Essex. Lee, I know you'll be there as well, and you're also going to be showing, or judging rather, in Roseburg, Oregon, St. Clair, in near Port Huron, Michigan, and as I said, you're going to be at Morrison Essex as well. The whole show site team is going to be in New Jersey for Morrison Essex, and we're going to look forward to seeing all of our viewers there. We hope that that entries are open now. There is a limited entry. It's a big entry limit, but don't delay if you have any plans to enter your dog in Morrison Essex, a show that happens only every 5 years. So, Lee, any other thoughts before we
Yeah.
say by?
Well, I wanted to mention that Documentor is having a special masterclass open to the public on September 28th, October 12th, and October 19th. It's a three-part series of the building your own blue ribbon blueprint, and that is your Documentor playbook. So
Thank you for that, Lee. And I encourage everyone to put those 3 evenings on their calendar. If you haven't attended a masterclass with Lee Whittier, you don't know what you're missing. If you enjoy Ring Ready Live for 30 minutes, imagine what 90 minutes, 3 nights is going to offer you. Imagine, well, it's an interactive community, Lee.
it is.
Unlike our show here, where everybody gets to comment, in a master class, you're in class, and it's a conversation.
It is.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that first class and the 2 that follow. And again, I want to encourage all of you to join Lee. You won't regret the 90 minutes. It'll be the best 90 minutes, other than these 30 minutes in your week.
It's always the best 90 minutes in my week, and the best time when I'm giving classes for Documentor members. And yes, Jenna and Renee, just send me a private message on Facebook that with your name and address, and I'll send you a pin and sticker. Yes. And the link for the masterclass, we'll have that up shortly.
Great. Thank you, Tamara, for asking. Karen, Jenna, Renee, Peg, Allison, Elizabeth, I want to thank you and everyone else for joining us this week to talk about playbooks. We hope that you have some takeaway that you can add to building your own playbook. There's no time like the present to start. So get a notebook, get a stack of Post-its, get whatever you need to start jotting down some of the things that you need to become successful as an owner handler in the ring. Lee, once again, I want to thank you for your time this week. This was a wonderful show, as always. Thank you to everyone else for joining us this week. And until next week, when we're going to talk about what we need in our toolbox, keep having fun with your dogs.
And see you in the winner's circle. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.